Swastiastu. Dear honorable judges, fellow participants, ladies and gentlemen, with nearly 1 billion people, or approximately 14% of the world population belonging to the faith, Hinduism is the third largest religion on this planet. It is also the oldest surviving religion and may have existed for more than 7,000 years. Hindu have more gods than any other religions, and some sources may say it exceeds 300 million gods, like Shiva, Vishnu, and Ganesh, just to name a few. And all of this only highlights the fact that Hinduism is a very large and diverse religion, and within it exists a plural society. And why is that so? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if one were to study the Vedas between the lines, one will see a religion of harmony. One point of difference between Hinduism and any other religions is that in Hinduism, we pass from truth to truth, from a lower truth to a higher truth, and never from error to truth. For example, it is common knowledge that the sun rises from the east. One could also say that the sun is an object in space, while the earth is merely spinning around the sun. Granted, both of them are true, but one of which is a higher form compared to the other. Hence, the Vedas should be studied through the eyeglass of evolution. They contain the whole history on the progress of religious consciousness, until religion has reached perfection in unity. It should be known that the Vedas are anadi, eternal. The meaning of the statement is not, as is erroneously supposed by some, that the words of the Vedas themselves are eternal, but it's the spiritual laws inculcated by the Vedas such. These laws, which are immutable and eternal, have been discovered by great men or rishis at various times, though some are forgotten now, while others are preserved. When several people from various angles and distances have looked at the sea, each man sees a portion of it according to his own horizon, though each man may say that what he sees is the real sea, for all of them speak the truth. For all of them see portions of the same wide expanse. And so does our religious scriptures. Though they seem to contain varying and conflicting statements, they all speak the truth. When one sees a mirage for the first time, he often mistakes it for reality, and after vainly trying to quench his thirst in it, learns that it is a mirage. But whenever he sees such a phenomenon in the future, despite the apparent reality, the idea that he sees a mirage always presents itself to him. So is the world of Maya to Jivan Mukta. In Bhagavad Gita 4:11, Krishna says, "O Partha, in whatever way I am approached, in that way would I respond. All men, by whatever path, come to me." This means that people may search God through many paths and many beliefs, but in the end, it will come to God eventually. Hence, Hinduism is not a monolithic tradition. There isn't a single unified Hindu opinion on things, and there is no single unified path that defines our faith. There are several ways in which a Hindu could reach understanding of God, the four largest being Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, and Smartism. Furthermore, there are numberless schools of thought, or sampradayas, expressed in tens of thousands of guru lineages, or paramparas. Each and every one of them is independent of one another. In a very real sense, this grand tradition can be defined and understood as 10,000 faiths gathered in harmony under a single umbrella called Sanatana Dharma. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for us Hindus to live and coexist alongside one another, we needed to reach a society that embraces pluralism. According to Diana Eck of Harvard University, she stated that, first, pluralism is not diversity alone, but the energetic engagement with said diversity. Diversity can and has meant the creation of religious ghettos with little traffic between or among them. Today, religious diversity is a given, but pluralism is not a given. It is an achievement. Mere diversity alone, without real encounters and relationships, will only yield increasing tensions in our society. Second, pluralism is not just tolerance, but the active seeking of understanding across lines of differences. I must admit that tolerance is a necessary public virtue, but it does not require different groups to know anything about one another. Tolerance is too thin for a foundation for a world of religious difference and proximity. It does nothing to remove our ignorance of one another, and only leaves in place the stereotype, the half-truth, and the fears that underlie old patterns of divisions and violence. Third, pluralism is not relativism, but the encounter of commitments. The new paradigm of pluralism does not require us to leave our identities and commitments behind. For pluralism is the encounter of commitments. It means holding our deepest differences, even our religious ones, not in isolation, but in relationship to one another. Last but not least, pluralism is based on dialogue. The language of pluralism is that of dialogue and encounter, give and take, criticism and self-criticism. Dialogue means both speaking and listening, and it does not mean that we have to agree with one another. It will reveal both real differences and common understandings across different groups. And in pluralism, dialogue does not mean we have to leave our commitments behind. It means we have to hold one another beside our differences. And so, it is in our best interest to change the way we treat our neighbors, not only among Hindus, but also among Christians, Muslims, but also among Buddhists. We have to go out and help one another, get together and know more about the other, until eventually our society will become harmonious and we will reach a plural society. Ladies and gentlemen, Hinduism is a religion that is plural in nature. There are countless ways for a Hindu to reach the truth, thus birthing many different faiths that we have now. It is quintessential for the Hindus to respect, love, and interact with one another. We have a saying in Sanskrit that said, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, meaning that we all are brothers and sisters. And siblings do not discriminate against the other. They love one another. Thank you very much. Om Santi, Santi, San Om.